It's a historic day for the University of Portland Athletics as Pilots Give is UP's first ever campus-wide day of giving. This 24-hour fundraising event is intended to bring the entire UP community together and to inspire one another to give back and make Portland stronger for today and tomorrow. It's also not a day about dollars, but about participation, as every gift counts. This is your chance to make an impact and support Portland athletics. So give back, spread the word, and show your Pilot pride.
The Portland Pilots are the 2016 West Coast Conference champions.
Hi there, and welcome to a very special Portside of the Pilots as we celebrate the first ever Pilots Give, which is a 24-hour fundraising event benefiting the University of Portland and Pilot Athletics. We're live at the Pilot House on the UP campus, but at any time before 12 noon tomorrow, feel free to visit pilotsgive.up.edu. I am Adam Lindman, and joining me now is the University of Portland Vice President for Athletics, Scott Lakem. Scott, welcome, and happy Pilots Give Day.
Pilots Give Day, Adam.
Now, Scott, you have a fundraising background that goes back to your days at Stanford, and you've been a part of so much growth here at Portland. Talk about the impact a day like this can have for UP athletics.
Well, Adam, I think participation is the key word to know in a situation like this. Once you get someone to give one gift to your organization, whether it be $5, $10, those are the people that are your $500, $5,000, $5 million donors later. So to get that first gift and get them in the door is critical, and I'm really proud of what athletics has brought to the table today.
My next question specifically, how will this impact student athletes at Portland?
Everything we do has a donor stamp on it, from our training room equipment to our weight room equipment to sport equipment, summer school scholarships, everything that our student athletes touch day in, day out, life skills programs, that comes from our benefactors and the people that believe in the University of Portland.
And speaking of donors, the France campus on the river, going to be a game changer. What has you most excited about that project?
What has me most excited about that project is you can draw a direct line on how it will improve all 16 of our varsity sports in one way or another, and it's very hard to find a project that can do that.
Now, we've added a lot of quality staff members during your 6 years here, including our next guest, Terry Porter. Talk about Coach Porter and what he meant to the department during his 2 years.
There's a lot of pressure here with Coach Porter at the table. Have to watch what I say. Terry's enthusiasm for the city, the game of basketball, for private Catholic education. I mean, the thing that Terry and I think found a common ground on right away is he believed in what the University of Portland is about. His family believed in what UP is about, and it's only gotten better from there.
And speaking of Coach Porter, let's turn our attention to him now.
Is that good, Coach Porter?
Thank you, Scott.
That's perfect.
Nailed it. Now, Coach Porter,
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
He nailed it. Happy Pilots Give Day. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
First, let's talk about the college coaching experience. How have your first 2 years treated you?
Well, it's been great. It's been a learning experience. There's no doubt about it. But the thing I've loved about it is what Portland is all about. The University of Portland is all about providing an opportunity for kids, teaching a lot about leadership, teaching a lot about teaching in itself. And what better way for me in my own teaching and to have an opportunity to take young men, teach them a lot about life, but also teach them the values that the University of Portland has to offer and the great degree that they have to provide.
And speaking of those young men, you had a young squad this year. Great potential shown. Next year, you're adding a few red shirts, a couple of newcomers. Yeah. What do you like about your team, and what are some of the key areas of growth that you're going to work on throughout the offseason?
Well, what I like about them is, like you said, last year they were young. And, part of them being young, there's a lot of lessons to be learned when you're young. And we took some bumps last year, but I feel that we learned also a lot from those experiences. Our guys was in a lot of games. Obviously, we don't have a lot of wins to show for it. But I think over the summer now, we're going to take that next progression. This is, I guess, a personal segment in the summer where you really have a lot more growth. And we're expecting them to really, take that next step and grow a lot individually in some of the areas that we know that it's important for them to grow in order for us to turn some of them W's, those L's into W's next year.
Nice. And now today it's all about giving. And I know last summer you contributed along with a couple of other donors to take your team on that foreign tour. Talk about how important and valuable that experience was for you and your team.
Well, it's so important first for our team. We're a young team, and you want to be able to have some camaraderie and build some team morale and some team chemistry, and that provided that opportunity. And you got away from the campus, so you got a chance, obviously, to play basketball, which was very important. But more importantly, you got them a chance to go see a different part of the culture, a different part of the world, and also play basketball. So the importance of playing a basketball game and teaching those type of basketball moments, but also as a group. And you're talking about building the family, building unity, togetherness is all important in that process.
And Pilots Give is off to a stupendous start here. Now, what do you plan on using the money raised here today in the future?
Well, there's a couple of different areas that we really look going forward as areas that we want to consistently continue to strive and make improvement. We still want to believe that international in regards to recruiting is very important. So there's going to be opportunities to send an assistant coach over there. Ben Johnson has done a lot of international recruiting, so that opportunity. Just within our own technology standpoint, we really use technology from a shooting standpoint for the guys having the ability to look at their opponents, look at themselves. We think that's very important for coaches to be able to use technology to pull information up on kids we're looking at recruiting, for us to be able to use it as part of our scouts. And then some of the other important things you talk about in regards to shooting. There's a shooting technique in regards to a gun machine. Those type of things that we think is so important for our program and for our players to continue that type of growth in all the facets of basketball we need to grow on.
Coach Porter, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can make a donation anytime by going to pilotsgive.up.edu. And we're just getting started on Portside of the Pilots on NBC Sports Northwest. And when we come back, men's soccer head coach Nick Carlin-Voigt stops by for a chat.